Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Don's Life. Thank you for joining today. Let me talk about this one-of-a-kind hoodie. This was a gift from one of my daughters at Christmas to support the channel. Thank you, daughter. I appreciate it.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Anyway, if you are new to the channel and you haven't been here before, please consider subscribing. I do lots of random DIY projects, very much automotive themed or home improvement. It'd be great to have you along for the ride. Anyway, in today's episode, we are going to apply HyperDip. This is made by the same folks that make Plasti Dip. Now, despite what you may think about it or your preconceived notions, I like using it as a temporary coating for a lot of different scenarios. Sometimes painting's the way to go. Sometimes maybe a vinyl wrap's the best way to go. But for some things, I like products like this. So I'm gonna show you why and how to apply it to your wheels. Maybe not the why part, that's more up to you, but definitely the how from start to finish, and I'm gonna be very, very thorough. But let me answer some questions about this product right off the bat. So the number one question that I get asked is, will it peel? Well, yes it will. Like a vinyl wrap, you have to find a nice edge, you have to work at it, and you peel it back. Now with these products here, you can use a dissolver, which is going to soften it up, and you could peel it easier or use high power pressure washer and get that off. But let me show you one of the logos I did and give you an idea. So a better video to illustrate this is probably the Cadillac Escalade video. So I'll put a link in the description below and maybe a link up above. But if I wanted to peel this, and this is HyperDip right here, and it's dirty. Okay, it just came out of the car wash, but I haven't like rubbed it with a rag or anything, but you can see it kind of gloss up there. Anyway, if I wanted to peel this, I would have to scratch it hard with my nail or a plastic tool, and then I could start to peel it back and it would all come off. So definitely check out one of those videos. But if I just power wash this like I did at the car wash, and I have multiple videos of that happening, that spray pattern and the pressure that they use at the car washes, as well as what most people would use at their home for washing their vehicle, is not going to peel it at all, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, unless you use a high power pressure washer and you crank it up to like 3,500 or 5,000 PSI and put a fine tip on it, that'll probably take off your paint too, and the HyperDip or Plasti Dip with it. So anyway, we will get started. I'm gonna be very thorough, like I said. I'm gonna take the wheels off, but I need to have some room in the garage to work and to film this video. So my daughter is actually going to move the BMW M4 out of the garage. When she fires it up, it's not going to have all the valves open, so it won't be as loud as normal, but there is a button inside. If I show her how to push that, when she pulls it out, it should growl a little more. Anyway, I'll hand the keys over to her and let's move the car. Keep going. That's good. All right, before I jack up the vehicle, I'm just going to loosen the lug nuts just a little bit, make it easier when it's up in the air to finish taking them off. we got the wheels off. That was pretty easy, pretty straightforward there. We're going to take these outside and we're going to hand wash them and get them ready to mask. All right, so we're gonna mask the back of these wheels. It's not something you have to do, but I'm going to mask right where this natural lip is. We're gonna have a tape line all the way around there. And then I'm gonna mask the dish here because I'm not looking to have the HyperDip kind of fade into that area. It's just covering the face of the wheel. I'm also going to mask around here just so we don't get any material built up where this connects with the hub. All right, we got it all masked. Now you'll notice I decided just to mask about an inch away from the actual rim. We actually want to get HyperDip on there because when we go to peel it later, it'll make a perfect seam right around the edge, which is what we want. We want that to wrap around and not have any of the silver show through. I over masked, like I said, I didn't want to get any on the dish, and I put paper in behind too, so I'm not spraying extra material on the floor. The paper is going to catch everything. We do need to do another cleaning, make sure all of this is perfectly clean. Now these lug nut holes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to seat an acorn nut, so another lug nut just inside there, then paint it all or HyperDip it all, and then I'll take the lug nuts out, and that'll make sure I don't build up any material where the lug nut seats. You don't have to do that, you could paint right through it and then just scrape that off, but I'm just going to make it easier for myself in the end. Okay, so these are the acorn nuts. They're actually from my old RX-8. And you can see they'll just balance in there. So a couple different sizes here. And I also leaned the rim back. I found that this angle makes it a little easier to spray, so I can get up in these areas as well as into some of the sides. If you're spraying completely flat, you may find that you get drips. Also, you want to make sure that the room that you're in is about 75 degrees and not too humid. You don't want it too humid, it might not work out to the finish that you're looking for. All right, we're just about ready to spray. I got my respirator, we've got our HyperDip. You also want to make sure that not only your environment is warm enough, like 75 degrees or warmer, you want to make sure that the product in the can is also warmed up. So if you need to put it in a hot bucket of water beforehand, you'll find that it'll spray much nicer and you'll avoid some of that spitting or spattering that can come along with aerosols. So again, 4 to 5 very light dusting coats or tack coats, if you will, and then we can wet it out a little more, and this stuff levels great, a little better than Plasti Dip. And let's see how it turns out. Let's go. So if you run into any little spitting spots like this, like that one there, like that one there, they'll usually level out when you add more material, but what works for me is I'll just push on them like that, just to flatten them out. And then when I get more on here, there's a little more there. When I put more material on, it'll wet it again, level it out, and you'll be fine. right, we got the wheels HyperDipped. As you can see, they turned out amazing. I did do some tire shine, so everything looks consistent. Now imagine if I was leasing this vehicle, this would be a great way to customize your wheels because you wouldn't have to sand them down or paint them or wreck them in any way. Just peel it off when you're done. And if I have to repair anything, it's not too difficult. You peel it off and respray it, that's it. So that is HyperDip on my wheels. If you like today's video, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing, and we will talk to you next time. Got the chrome around the windows, the flames, extra stickers. You know, that's what I love about customizing vehicles. It's a personal preference thing. Make it your own, keep it unique. Spot on.